February something, maybe 6, 7. But I I've been thinking about what's been going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and across cities in the country about this raids and invasion of our federal forces to our city, our streets and park and schools, churches, and snatching families, separate them, kids as young as 8 been taken away. And we all saw it streaming, and we saw it next door, you know, from our neighborhood. People are working, construction sites. You can see ICE, masked, militarized forces coming and raiding those places. So the threat was real. We saw it. We felt it. Most of Minneapolis and most Minnesota saw it. Most of the world saw it streaming, uh, social media. And it was appalling. It was uh, very hard for a lot of people, millions of people here in this country, and especially the hundreds of thousands of Minneapolis who rose up and protested and marched and uh, put their lives on the line. Some of them got killed. Uh, it's amazing. All of the sudden there is a 30,000 observers in the streets for 3,000 militarized federal forces. So it's like 10 observer for each ICE soldier. Amazing. This is really a Tahrir's career, a moment where, now every day protest, demonstration. Every Friday there is a boycott, general strike, and people all just couldn't take it. And the village idiot and Trump back pedal a little bit and got rid of this macho Nazi-looking guy, uh, the commander George Bovino, and put another. The border czar Tom Homan, and he comes across as a soft, a person rational and ready to negotiate and de-escalate the federal forces present in a confrontation in Minneapolis. And of course, this is just tactic, not really a major change. But however, it shows that the old way of showing off and attacking and raiding brown people and deporting them ended up in killing the two and the killing were observer were white using their privilege to really make a change. What is going to happen next, we don't know. I think this is based on the rest of the nation and if they're going to rise up like what happened in Minneapolis or our legal system going to act. You can see some judges are quitting and make some stand and putting some restriction on and ICE forces and some police in some states taking initiative and give their police forces the right to arrest ICE forces if they violate the local law. And so this is a good sign. And of course, the Democratic Party just sitting on the fence there, doing much a massive, resisted or did not master anything. They are waiting for the street fight to end, and then they can take a stand. And this is really a typical when you have a two corporate party, the just the Republican and Republican light, and then somebody was saying why ask explain why the Democrats or answering why the Democrats haven't really mastered any resistance to this federal invasion of our cities and our church and our schools and the violence that committed in the streets. And if you have a party that looked the other way or supported genocide in Gaza for 2 years, supporting genocide, killing hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. I know people say 60,000, 100,000. I think it's going to be more than that. If their morality disappear and support the genocide in Gaza, most likely they're not gonna see the violation of the federal forces in our cities. They're not gonna see the threat to our democracy. So it is up to the people on the street now to really rise up and if this is not the time to change, not just ICE out, not just Trump out, change the whole formation of our political system, we are in big trouble. But I was, asking myself why Obama's deportation plan strategy. Obama was dubbed the deporter-in-chief. He deported more than 3 million people. Why did he succeed in deporting many millions? And Trump could not really master more than 300,000. So the question is why Obama's deportation plan succeeded and Trump having difficulties and facing resistance and facing outcries and challenges from on people level, street level, political level, legal level, and I think this really can be explained by what the Polish sociologist Zygmunt Bauman's in his book Modernity and the Holocaust, and he has this theory that they call it the proximity theory. He said that a lot of those people who participated in the Holocaust and work in tortures and organize this massive bureaucracy to move millions of people from their homes, from the parks, from the schools, from everywhere. Well, not just talking about Jews, they moved a lot of other people too to concentration camp and gas chambers, all of that because of the proximity was far. Those people who participated in this horrible crime were far. They did not see the end game. They did not see people crying and suffering during gas. So they did not interact with Jews in Germany or Poland and Europe in general. So his theory is we tend to commit violence against people who don't know. The, talking about committing massive violence possible against people you do not know, you do not meet. A lot of people who interacted with Jew in Germany or Poland, refuse to go to this or participate. And and research tells us, most people who refused to participate were not punished. It was not like a crime or anything. Like I mean, the Nazi SS, they do not want people who don't want to participate, or they don't want people who have emotion or hate the Jew. Even the people who hate the Jew and they want to show off and they want to say, I can do it, I hate whatever, they were rejected. And the thinking is, if you hate the Jew today, you're going to love him tomorrow. We don't want that jealousy. We want somebody just average, neutral person. He can just function here. You do the job. You go to work and you do the job. You don't know whether you're making cluster bomb or you're making diapers, or you're moving coal on a train, or you're moving people. It's all you just do your job, and you are a bureaucrat. Your motivation is to get a raise, to get promoted, to do a good job, and end of the day you go home and play with your kids, and you go to Sunday school. You live in a normal life, but you're doing a horrible things. So this, what Bauman was saying, that's what happened during Obama's 8 years, deporting millions of people quietly and more efficiently, and people perceive it as this is the rational way of getting rid of criminals and the people who constitute a threat to our national security. Whereas in Obama, he's going to, gusto and sending people zealous and racist and, proud boys and all those people who have a lot of emotion and a lot of hate, and that's not enough. That hate, and that's also in Bowman's explanation. Anti-Semitism was not enough for the Nazi you know, leaders to kill millions of Jews. Hating the Jew has been, anti-Semitism. It's been going on for a long time, and they were victims. But with that rate of victims, according to Zogman and according to the Nazi, it would have taken 200 years to kill that many Jews. You need more than just anti-Semitism. You need more than just being a racist or being proud boys and make America great and make America white again and have this massive ethnic cleansing. They were talking about getting rid of 100 million non-European or non-white to make America white again. But hate alone will not do it. You need the system. You need a modern system that use technology and efficiency in killing, and that's what killed that many Jews, or the 8 million of them, and other ethnic groups and communists in Germany. It was not anti-Semitism. It was caused by the mother state. Mother state makes it possible to have that many people killed. How organized and the tools of mother state and organization and bureaucracy and technology and proximity. People are away. You do things, we cannot see the end result. It's like people go to work every day. They don't know what they're doing. They have a very small manufacturer, a cog in a machine, as they say, and you just make bombs and make condoms. You make cool. You make candy. You make chocolates. You make poison gas. You make whatever. It's just you do a little job, and you don't know what's the end result. So it does not affect you that much. So when this is really outlandish way of looking at it, but what Trump was trying to do to and take Minneapolis as a model for the rest of the country. He can march with his federal mask militarized forces and impose his will and take thousands of people and put them in concentration camp and ship them to hostile places and that's what Europeans have done. Moving people out. That's what we've done in Africa. You moved people in, millions of blacks and millions of people died, Native Americans. Snatching them and try to teach them English or religion and all of this. But it was done in a different ways. What Belgium did in Congo. So that massive killing and massive transfer from Europe or to Europe and Australia and here it was done because the mother state and that mother state was the invention of the capitalist uh, uh, project that produced Nazism and Zionism and communism and produced Nism, ideology of mass destruction, ideology of ethnic cleansing, ideology of transfer, move things around like you move resources and take resources from Africa and move it here. The same thing. You take people as resources, as material. And this was the thinking of Europe in both feudal era where the ideology and the thinking and that people measure things by material values, and it's all about what do you benefit, what do you think, and taking the human elements out of it, the human value out of it, and and I think also the philosopher Hannah Arendt popularized the phrase the penalty of evil. You really do not have you don't have to have a monster to commit a monstrous act, and and then she was talking about. Talking about the trial of Nazi Adolf Eichmann and how it was a show to show Eichmann was just a horrible human being, and he caused the death of millions of Jews, and the same as his boss Hitler. And she said how Eichmann was a very average guy. He's just not crazy psychopath. He's just a bureaucrat, and he an ordinary individual following orders, and he just went to do good. That's his value driving in our modern states. You want to do good. Doesn't matter what you're making in work, and it doesn't matter whatever you make is really causing the death of thousands of people or causing people diseases in in food industry or killing millions of animals through the efficient way of feeding our meat appetizer. You just do the job. You don't see the slaughtering, the millions of animals slaughtered every day at the meat packs and whatever, cutting things. And if you any visit to that places, you'll end up vegetarian or vegan or whatever. And then that's a theory that Bauman talked about, a proximity, that if you are closer to a victim, you tend not to uh, you don't have the violence intensity. Morality comes from interacting with other people. It's not imposed by society randomly. You can have all the morality and rules and etiquettes and until you meet that person, and then you think differently. And a lot of Germans refuse to participate because of the proximity. They know somebody. They know their lawyer was a Jew. Their accountant was a Jew. Their neighbor was a Jew. they marry from with the Jew. So there was a proximity there. They know those people are human, and it's very hard to do. But once you demonize those people, like what happened in Gaza and Palestine, you demonize the Palestinians and the baby killer, and you lie about their savage avarice. Easy to kill thousands, destroy them, destroy, and people did not really move that much. So that's what Trump and his goons are facing these days. This project is amount to fail because people have saw everything and felt it. Even some conservative and Republican now they start saying this is really bullshit. This is really not what America is. What Trump does is just showing the ugly face of America. The history of America is full of this, from the native blacks, Chinese exclusion, and then deporting more than 3 million Mexican in the 30s. And the Muslim ban. So it is really, the history is full of this. And unless you connect what Trump is trying to do to American history, and he keeps saying Nazi did this and Nazi did that, and he's a Nazi and he's just Trump, but Trump did this and Trump. It's not going to happen. If it wasn't Trump, it's going to be someone else. There's a lot of Trumps out there. But the way they did it, they clumsy and primitive and cruel and racist, and that backfire, and people rose up and resisted, and now we are at a crucial moment, crossroad, standing to this and stopping it and. Change our political system to actually represent the people and do right things, not just be re-elected and follow the money and all of that. So this is all the rant I'm gonna say today, and please support and follow us on Substacks. Ahmedia TV, and share and keep the conversation going. Thank you, and we'll see you next round.